Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
So
One
it's
three.
1-3 no limit at
Okay.
Lemire Casino downtown.
Okay.
Um, I've got 2-4 spades, and the effective stacks between me and the villain are $600.
Okay.
So I am in middle position, and I limped with 2-4 for $3. Um,
That's a little. What did you say your name was, Mark or Brian?
Brian,
Brian. That's a little bit light, Brian.
I understand.
Limping from MP1 with deuce four spades. I mean,
Yep.
the only time I'm ever going to play that hand is if I raise it maybe some of the time on the button as a steal, or I'm defending in the big blind getting some sort of crazy price. That's the only
Well,
time you'll ever see me play
on
that hand.
Well, to tell you kind of why is the 1-3 game is kind of a crazy action game at Lemire. It plays more like a 2-5 game. The funny thing is there is no 2-5 game hardly ever at the casino, but there's a lot of 1-3 tables, and like I said, there were plenty of action there. So anyway, I limp with that, and then the hijack makes it $30. Big blind calls, small blind calls, big blind calls. That's back to me. There's already 4 in for 30 each,
Let me guess, you
and
call.
so I called. Yes.
So you've
Um,
got, is 5 times 30 right now, 150 in the pot?
correct.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to say, I mean, before everybody sort of flames you and says this is ridiculous pre-flop, which it is, though, Brian. I'm trying to be nice. But I hope we get some sort of flop that's going to demonstrate maybe some sort of draw concept here from out of position. So, all right, we
It
go.
gets crazier.
Okay.
The flop is Queen of Spades,
Mm-hmm.
7 of Hearts, 2 of Hearts.
Queen of Spades, 7 of Hearts, 2 of Hearts. So you flop a deuce?
Yes.
Okay.
So the blinds check, I check, goes back to the razor. The
Mm-hmm.
razor stares at the flop for the longest time, and then he only bets $30.
Okay.
And then everybody folds to me, and I'm thinking, what the hell? Why is everybody just giving him this pot? And he didn't even bet anything. So I'm thinking he could have ace king. I could be ahead here. So I called the $30.
You know what's funny about this, and I think this is sort of accidental, because I've done a lot of work recently with small sizing and hands that you're supposed to continue with.
Mm-hmm.
If you close, first of all, you said the preflop razor is the one that bet 30, right? Is that right?
Yes,
But
yes,
you're
yes.
to his immediate right. So if he bet 30 and everyone folded and you have deuce four spades here, so the pot's
Mm,
180, 30 to call, you're supposed to call.
right.
So you're actually supposed to call here.
And I did, yes.
Because you're getting such a price, you've got backdoors, and there's a very good chance that your deuce and your four are good. Where this is pretty easy to be a problem is that if there's anyone left to act behind you, or if you have people in between, you cannot call. But when you're
Right,
closing the action, sort of like somebody making a bet on the flop and you closing the action in the blind. So, all
right,
right, so you call.
right.
Yep.
So
What you
next
tell?
card is
Yep.
ace of spades.
Now you have a flush draw and a
Correct.
deuce. Mm-hmm.
So I check, and he does the same thing. He stares at the board for a long time, and he only bets $70.
I'm very, very concerned here, Brian. I would make the call and hope you hit a spade, but this almost smells like he's got like pocket queens. When he bet,
Right,
here's the thing: like when he bet 30 and everyone folded, that means that someone doesn't have a queen. So what is
right,
he betting? Remember, you said like 5 people in the hand. You don't have a queen, so what is he betting here for 30? Like even if he were to take like middle set here and bet, but I mean, still now, and just happens to be everyone doesn't have a queen. Now that's possible, but he's
mm-hmm,
betting a scare card here on the turn too. The way that I would play your hand is I would check call, and thinking that he's strong, what I would probably do if you hit a spade that didn't pair the board is, boy, it's interesting with this particular. I would, you know what? I mean, you probably can't go wrong by checking the river. You think he's strong to check jam, but I just don't let people get away with that shit. Like I don't get let people get away with checking back hands at this level. I would probably just upfront move all in if you hit backdoor spades. There's front door hearts out there, so
Hmm.
he's not gonna fold. But where you're gonna run into a problem here is if you make a move here on the turn, or if you call and then you hit a deuce or hit a four. If you hit a call here and hit a deuce or hit a four, I would still check and evaluate what happens because this sort of smells like queen queen to me. So he bet 70.
Right, and then you know it's only a third of the size of the pot,
Hmm.
so and I have a spade draw now, so I figured I needed the call here,
Right.
so I did,
Yep.
and the river is king of spades.
Ah, okay. So the pot is 350, right?
Right.
And you have 70, you have 100, you've put in what, 130. You've got
I should have about 440 left.
470. Yeah, 440 to 470, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, Here's the thing. Again, like he probably should be betting ace queen. He should be betting ace king. He should be betting pocket queens here. All of those hands he should be betting.
Mhm.
But I usually don't want to give. I mean, you could probably go either way with it. If you think he's. Here's the thing, like, though, if he had ace queen here and he checks it back, it's a disaster. Now, if you can see that he has pocket queens, then probably, yeah, okay, you could check. But if he's got pocket queens, he's going to call an all in anyways, to be
Right.
honest with you. So I don't like to, like, I don't like to get tricky here at 1-3 from the river here and have these guys check back with hands that they would call with.
Right.
You've got 4-4. I got to be honest with you, I would probably just move all in. It's a little bit over the size of the pot. I would just jam from up front.
So, well, I did something close to that. I had $200 chips on top of my stack, and I just flipped those $200 chips in,
Yeah, I'd move in. I think
and
that's too small.
he kind of did the same thing where he stared at it for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then he like shoved in like he thought he had the pot won, and I insta called him and
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
took it.
He moved all in.
He did, yes.
Okay.
So I don't know what he thought I had, but I don't think he expected the backdoor flush.
So you called obviously, and you were good, right?
I insta called him, and half the table freaked out about my hand. So,
So you never saw what he
but
had though?
well, he did. He had the pocket queens, like you
Yeah, I was
said.
gonna say like, yeah, it's just. I mean, here. So this is interesting here too, Brian, because it goes to show you, even though your pre-flop play is sort of out of whack here, there are some interesting things that actually have
Mhm.
happened in this hand, whether they were intentional or accidental. Like I said, the only time you're actually going to get into this spot with a hand like this is if you're in the big blind, usually, and then somebody makes a bet like this and you close the action. This is sort of a similar thing. The call on the
Mhm.
flop, I think you're actually supposed to make because of the small sizing. The thing that I would say though is that a lot of times this almost always represents pocket queen. So if but you can't make that assumption. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Right.
But that's a problem because you get reverse implied odds. Check call on turn is fine, and the river play, you should be moving all in. His all in is horrifically bad
Right.
because what are you betting at the end here?
I'm guessing that he thought I was bluffing a missed heart flush
Yeah,
draw.
but if you were bluffing, why would he move all in? It makes no sense, right? That's why
That's true.
this is interesting at the end. Also, you could have Jack 10 of hearts, which is another hand that he loses to, right? It's
Right.
Queen
True.
7 deuce. The only thing that I could see is if you somehow were overvaluing like King Queen of hearts that you didn't raise pre-flop and then decided to bet the river or ace queen. But the thing is that if he's got three queens, he should look back. If he's got a queen in his hearts in his hand, you can't have that. So say he's got three queens and he's got the queen of hearts in his hand, you can't have that hand. This is
Right.
like he should never move all in here with pocket queens. Ever,
Right.
never, never. You got a little bit lucky that you got all his money because he moved all in. It should just be a call. But
Right.
it's pretty obvious that he would have called an all-in, right? So the play was
Right.
to move all in. You know what I mean? So
Right. So yeah, I'll remember that next time.
yeah. Anyways, thanks for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.